Princeton Club, this is Lauren here bringing you a nutritional video all about juice cleansing. I want to preface by saying I personally am not a dietitian or nutritionist. I just like to research topics and implement them with myself and with clients sometimes, and I thought juice cleansing would be a really interesting thing to talk about. A lot of people have maybe tried them before. I personally have tried a juice cleanse before, and it actually is quite a controversial topic in the nutrition world, and so I thought it would be good to be able to go over with you guys the pros and cons to what a juice cleanse has to offer and if it's for you. So I should be clear that I personally have a very unbiased opinion whether someone should or shouldn't do a juice cleanse. I just simply today want to provide you, with the information so that you can make an informed decision if you think a juice cleanse is right for you. So the reason that I decided to talk about this today additionally, not only because it's just an interesting topic and to learn, it really helps you learn more about your own body and what affects it. But I personally am actually going to be going through a juice cleanse myself, and I thought it'd be kind of nice to share a real-time experience with you guys so that I can share how I'm feeling before, during, and after this cleanse, and just basically give you an anecdotal experience as to if it worked for me or if I liked it or not. It definitely is a challenge to go through a juice cleanse, so definitely make sure, in addition to listening to this video, that you spend some time doing your own additional research. There's a lot of information out there that I have found that just really helps you understand what a juice cleanse is supposed to be for, why you should do one, and then the pros and cons. So let's talk through some of that next here. What's interesting about a juice cleanse is that we all think of, oh, fruits and vegetables, they're really healthy for us, lots of vitamins and minerals, so how could this be an unhealthy approach to eating and going through a process, working on some weight loss, or just trying to be healthier? How could juices not be healthy for you, right? And so some of the cons I wanted to actually talk about first, just because I want to really open your eyes as to, really how could this be damaging or not very beneficial to you. And so let's just go through those first. So should you do a juice cleanse? We'll talk about the pros and cons. So a juice, I have some here because these are the ones that I got from the store. If you think about it, it's just the list of ingredients on the bottle here. This one specifically has 240 calories. Most of it is carbohydrates and sugars. Now, of course, the sugars on this are natural sugars that come from the juices of the fruits and vegetables, but really this is carbohydrates only. So, we have to think about the fact that this is not a balanced meal, right? So one of the cons of juices is that these are all carbohydrates. There's really no proteins or fats in them, which are also very essential to the body. When we think about what our body needs to function day in and day out, you do need all three of those macronutrients. So a con really is that this is something that is not sustainable long term. It would be something that only provides really carbohydrates and sugars to your day. A con also is that there's no fiber in these juices. They've basically taken something that had fiber in it, like leafy greens or like an apple, and they now have stripped it of all those additional nutrients, and we are left without the fiber and just the juice left behind. And there's just so many benefits to having fiber in our diet, as we know. It helps with digestion and other things, but so the fact that it doesn't have fiber is, definitely a con. Something else is that juices can be really good for you. It's just a supplement when you think about it. So it's not that you shouldn't say all or nothing, juicing is bad or juicing is good, but really a juice should not be a meal replacement. Even with 240 calories, that's not enough calories for a meal typically. And when, again, we compare, this is just a carbohydrate part of the meal, you definitely would want to pair this with something else and make sure you kind of mentally view this as more of a supplement to your meal or something to take midday. maybe to start your morning out right. So you definitely can incorporate juices, but really we want to think of it as not a meal replacement, but more as a supplementation if you struggle to get some vitamins and minerals in your day at times. And then a couple other things that came up is it doesn't really teach you the proper skills of balancing your meals out. So if you're new to trying to meal prep or just learn what a balanced nutrition lifestyle looks like, juicing is probably going to be on the more extreme side, and it doesn't really teach you the skills on how to build a healthy lifestyle. This is going to be a quick fix kind of thing. We don't want to view it that way, so we want to view juices as something that is not going to really educate and teach us about nutrition and how it affects our body all that much. Something that I found interesting when I was doing my reading was that it does not actually detoxify the body like we always think it does. Or the thing I always hear is, oh, I'm going on a juice cleanse because I want to detox. Well, actually, juicing does not do that whatsoever. The liver and your kidneys already are a natural detoxifier. It goes through the filtration process in the kidneys to flush out all those toxins, and we only absorb the vitamins and minerals through the filtration system. So it's a myth that juicing is a detox system. Now what I kind of interpreted that to be is that what juicing kind of does is, because we're eliminating food and we're just drinking juices, it gives your digestive system kind of a chance to digest and rest, is kind of what they call it. So because we're not having to let other food go through our intestines and have to, work on detoxifying those substances, basically by doing just juicing, it gives your organs a chance to kind of slow down, to not work so hard, and then that detoxification process can happen a little more smoothly. So that's what they typically mean by that. And then lastly, I did want to point out that juicing actually for certain individuals can be very dangerous to your health. So I wanted to go through just a couple of the categories of people that 100% should not do a juice cleanse. These are people who have diabetes, who also might have kidney, liver, or gallbladder problems, or long-term chronic disease. It's very dangerous for those types of individuals in each category for different reasons. For example, diabetes, if you're just drinking sugar, that's going to do different things to your blood sugar levels. Maybe you don't get enough because you're not having enough calories. Maybe it's too much sugar and you've got no other nutrients to balance that out. So that's one good example. Another interesting thing I found was that for people with maybe kidney problems, for dark leafy green vegetables specifically have a lot of what's called oxalate. And if there's too much oxalate in the body, the kidneys have a hard time filtering that chemical, and it actually can produce kidney stones. So just being really cautious if you're in that category, that this is really not the this is not the diet, or this is not the cleanse you should ever be on. You should also be avoiding this if you're kids should not be doing juice cleanses, and women who are pregnant also should not be doing juice cleanses. So with all that being said, it basically makes it sound like we should never do juice cleanses. Why would we ever do this? But there are some pros, and so I did want to talk through the pros as well, because many people do juice cleanses. I've seen a couple different documentaries that talk about juicing. I've seen documentaries that talk about people who had chronic disease, and by doing juicing, they got rid of their chronic disease or really significantly reduced their symptoms. So there are tons of benefits as well to incorporating juices into your diet, or trying a juice cleanse, or primarily sticking with juices and smoothies, and a veggie plant-based diet. So the pros, so for people who are for juice cleanses, would say that the juice cleanse supports the body's natural detox processes. That's what I was kind of trying to talk about earlier, is that when you do a juice cleanse, it's going to just enhance the detoxification process that your liver and kidneys can provide by eliminating those other foods that make things harder to digest throughout the body. It definitely will encourage you, because of kind of the rules, quote unquote, of a juice cleanse. It basically forces you to cut out certain things: processed foods, added sugars, dairy, meats, refined foods, caffeine, alcohol. So by eliminating those things because of the cleanse, you are already starting your life and resetting yourself to living a better and healthier lifestyle by cutting out the things you probably should have cut out anyways. So it just encourages a strong mindset. Another pro, really, and if you're doing the juice cleanse properly, it is just a short-term process. So because a juice cleanse typically lasts anywhere from like 2 to 7 days, it's really not anything that's long-term detrimental to the body unless you have one of those previous conditions that we talked about. And so there should not be any long-term damaging effects. If anything, it should just promote and encourage a healthy lifestyle and food decision making going forward. Another thing that was interesting is, I think about extremes. And so I'm not a person who likes to live through extremes. I'm never gonna, do like bungee jumping or cliff diving, and when it comes to nutrition, I'm definitely not all in or all out. And so what's interesting about a cleanse is it is kind of a more extreme approach to eating for a few days. But if you read the research and you read the articles, they teach you how to gradually go into a cleanse, do the cleanse, and then gradually work your way out of the cleanse, so that your digestive system isn't going into like crazy mayhem and havoc, because you don't want to go from like a very highly processed, sugary, high calorie diet to something that's the opposite of that. Your body is going to really resist change, and it's going to be probably a very terrible experience for you. So in the next video, I am going to go over exactly what it means to gradually build your way in, do the cleanse, and then gradually build your way out of it so that your body can respond most favorably. And then lastly, there's a couple other just simple things that they mention that are pros to a cleanse. It is shown that you will be able to improve your energy. You will be able to improve your digestion. So you're essentially altering the microbiota in your gut by doing a cleanse and giving it that rest and digest time. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention that we talked about this a little bit, but just discovering a new sense of conquering health, because if you can do a juice cleanse for even 3 days and you weave in and weave out properly, that does take a level of discipline. Juice cleanses are not easy. It takes a specific mindset and it takes a specific dedication to the process. And so my feeling is that if you can adhere to the practice, you can basically conquer anything when it comes to food later on. So hopefully it just instills a new mindset of conquering something that's challenging for you. All right, so before this gets too long here, number 2 here, for the right reasons. So for you Bachelor and Bachelorette fans, you kind of know what this means. You want to make sure you're here and doing a juice cleanse for the right reasons. The wrong reason would be doing this for a quick weight loss fix. This is not a reason to do a juice cleanse. Studies have shown that either your body will hold on to weight because it's not used to this low calorie deficit, so it's going to fight against the natural things you're trying to put in your body, or you may lose weight, but the minute you start introducing food again, you may gain weight and gain weight back and even gain more weight than what you started with. So please do not view juice cleanses as a quick fix to weight loss. It's not something that should be done long term anyways. If you can view it in a way that's just meant to be helping you with your habits, helping you with your health, and taking your time through the week, kind of like leading into the pre-cleanse, cleanse, and then post-cleanse, it will be a much more enjoyable experience. And I view it as a right reason is to just try to understand and learn your body better. Learn what foods work well digestively and how you feel. A lot of this is personal, anecdotal experiences, just meaning, did you feel good before? Do you feel better after? And you can kind of write down your symptoms every day. Do you have headaches normally? Do you normally deal with constipation or bloating? Do your joints hurt a lot? Do you have trouble sleeping at night? So if you can record some, anecdotal symptoms before, during, and after, that's a great reason to see if, vitamins and minerals and this cleanse could in fact help you and continue to help you learn more about how your body responds. And then step number 3 here, we're gonna just get to this and then finish up. So what should you do if you do wanna start a juice cleanse? The first thing you wanna do, besides some research, is decide what type of eater you typically are. This is going to help you determine how long you need to spend in the pre-cleanse phase, okay? So there's 4 different types of people out there that I've identified. And so you wanna identify, are you generally a healthy eater? Are you a person who's already 80 or 90% healthy? You got a bad day here and there throughout the week or month, but generally you are healthy. Are you a weekend warrior? This probably rings true for a lot of people. You're healthy all week long, and then the weekend comes and you just go for it. You eat all the bad things, you go out to eat, you eat all the junk. Are you a standard American diet person? And this things that come to mind are, in general, are you a person who you grab fast food every once in a while? Are you a hot dogs and burger type person, pastas and pizzas, meat and potatoes? Are you doing kind of those heavier meals and you sprinkle in some health every once in a while, like a 50-50? Or lastly, are you a junk food on the reg? So are you a person who really has been having a hard time? You're overeating all the time, your portions are too big, and all your choices, if you were to look at your day's worth of food, have no color in them, no fruits and vegetables, or very, very sparingly. So decide what type of person you are. And then in the next video, we're gonna talk about pre-cleanse and what that means to get started. So look forward to seeing you in the next video. I hope this was helpful for you to decide if you ever would want to try a cleanse or not, or if you're maybe looking at some of the cons and thinking, you know what, this just isn't for me. I'm gonna continue along my journey. I have started my pre-cleanse today. I did drink one of these this morning. And so I'm personally going to be doing a 4-day pre-cleanse. And so I'm excited to kind of share my experiences with it, as well as continue to educate you on what it means for you to try a cleanse as well. We'll talk with you soon and have a great day. Thanks, guys.